has so far lived up to none of his lofty campaign promises. All we have had from Franklin Delano Roosevelt and his so-called brain trust is a great deal of high-flow talk and virtually no action. In a nation racked by poverty, misery, and unemployment, it is deeds we want from the White House, not words. In short, Mr. President, if you are listening, we have had enough of your fireside chats. It is tough.
Criticism, damn it. Nothing but criticism.
I know.
It's awful.
They don't even read the Washington Post today.
Like I said, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Every cloud has a silver lining. You're never fully dressed without a smile.
Oliver Warbucks and friends.
Thank you. Send them in, please. Oliver, so good of you to have come.
Good morning, Mr. President.
And who is this we have here?
This is Annie.
Annie?
She so wanted to meet you, I couldn't resist bringing her along just to say hello.
The little girl who sang so beautifully on the radio last night.
Thank you, Mr. President. How do you do?
Thank you. I'm fine. You're as lovely as you sounded on the radio last night. Well, shall we begin?
Now, Annie, if you'll just wait outside.
No, Oliver. It's okay. Annie can stay. It'll be good to have a child around. It'll keep us on our best behavior. And I don't want to hear so much of as a gosh out of you, Hal. Sit down. Okay, Oliver. You know everyone, but Annie, let me introduce you. Secretary of State Perkins, Secretary of the Treasury Hull, Acting Secretary of the Interior Morgenthau, and Secretary of Agriculture Ickes. Okay, Oliver, since you're the only one with any money left in this country, I'd like to hear your view on matters.
Thank you, Mr. President. In the words of Calvin Coolidge, the business of this country is business. So, Mr. President, for the sake of you, the country, Wall Street, and myself, we've got to get my factories open and the workers back to work.
According to my latest figures, there are now 50 million Americans out of work and nearly 50 million with no visible means of support.
Mr. President, if I may say so, unemployment is not our worst problem. The dispatches coming out of Germany are getting more and more disturbing each day. There could be war.
Germany, hell, people are starving in this country.
I know, Harold, but in the long run...
Cordell, for those who are starving, there is no long run.
The problem is it's happening all at once. The stock market took another nosedive.
Sit-down strikes, riot, floods, dust storms.
And the FBI still hasn't caught Dillinger.
Well, at least we can all agree on one thing. The situation is hopeless and it's getting worse.
The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be some.
Quiet, little girl.
No, Harold, it's okay, Annie. Go ahead, it's still a free country.
Tomorrow, there's a weather, cobwebs and the sorrow. Till there's no. What's up with the day that's red and lonely? I just sit in my tent and grin and say, the sun will come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come on, day. Tomorrow, I love ya. Tomorrow, you're only a day away.
Harold Ickes, stand up.
What?
You heard me, stand up. Stand up and sing.
Sing.
Yes, like Annie. I've just decided that if my administration is going to be anything, it's going to be optimistic about the future of this country. Harold, sing. Louder.
Bet your
Harold.
bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow. The cobwebs and the sorrow. Till there's
So
time.
for the president, when I'm stuck with a day that's gray and lonely, I just stick out my chin and grin and say, everyone, Republicans to all of us, sing.
The sun comes out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. From one day, tomorrow, tomorrow, I love ya, tomorrow, you're only a day away. Tomorrow, tomorrow, I love ya, tomorrow, you're only a day
Mr. President, tell them.
Thank you.
All of it seems to be for you, from your secretary in New York. Hundreds of couples jamming street outside house, all claiming to be Annie's parents. Have begun to screen them, suggest you return to New York at once, signed, Grace Farrell.
Well, it seems the Hour of Smiles has more listeners than we thought.
Gee, hundreds of couples. One of them bound to be my mother and father.
Well, Oliver, as much as I've enjoyed your company, and especially yours, Annie, I suggest you get back to New York immediately.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, Mr. President.
No, thank you, Annie. President needs more people like you around.
Mr. President, what if we set up 100, no, 1,000 federal projects?
Yeah.
Yes,
Highway.
yes,
New post office.
yes, and put the unemployed back to work.
We could create 5 million new jobs within 6 months.
And weekly paychecks to get millions off relief and back to paying taxes.
While we could build a country so strong that nobody, not even Chancellor Hitler, could defeat us in a war.
Mr. President, what we've got to do is give this country nothing less than a new outlook,
A new vision.
A new approach,
A new concept.
a new dedication.
A new horizon.
A new spirit.
a new attitude.
A new deal. I was right the first time, everyone. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Tomorrow, I love ya. Tomorrow, you're only a day away. Harmony.
Tomorrow, I love ya. Tomorrow, you're only a day
Miss Farrell, I'm afraid there's been no word from Mr. Warbucks or Annie.
Did you see all those questionnaires, Drake? Do you realize that we've talked to 617 women who claim to be Annie's mother and 619 men who said that they were her father? That makes,
1,236.
all liars. Drake, I never realized there were so many dishonest people on the island of Manhattan.
Some of them, miss, were from the Bronx.
Grace, we're back.
Miss Farrell, where are all the people?
They're gone, dear. They're come and gone. I'm sorry, Annie, but they were all liars, only after the $50,000.
Are you certain?
Yes, sir. None of them knew about the locket.
Oh, gee.
Mr. Warbucks, this just came by special messenger from the FBI.
Ah, fine. Thank you. Ah, it seems that Ness has located the manufacturer of Annie's locket in Utica, New York. That sort of locket was made between 1918 and 1924.
Sort of locket?
Yes, over 90,000 were made and sold.
Aw, gee.
I guess the gist of it, Annie, is that Mr. Ness doesn't think there's a chance in a million of tracing your parents through the locket. I'm sorry.
It's all right, Mr. Warbucks. You tried your best. If you can't find them, nobody can. Well, you didn't turn out so bad. You got everything. All them Duesenbergs hanging on the walls.
Excuse us, sir. We'll go check on the dinner.
Annie, a Duesenberg, a car. Babe Ruth plays for the Yankees. And there's something else you should know. I may be a fortune made 10, been headlined and profiled again and again, but something was missing. I never quite knew that something was someone, but who? My speeches are greeted with thunderous acclaim, and two universities bearing my name, yet something was missing each time I got through. That something was someone, but who? Who could that someone be? How could they make it known? Leave me for me, leave me for me alone. The world was my oyster, but where was the pearl? Who dreamed I could find it in one little girl? Yes, something was missing, but dreams can come true. That something was no one but you. Not bad for an old man. Little girl, yes, something was missing, but